What's up, guys? Hey, how about that 450 race? Man, it's crazy that Chase Sexton still loses the front end, but I think he trusts it so much. But I'll get into that. And Hunter, I can't believe he just still doesn't have an overall win. That's got to be driving him bonkers. And I got more on the BS from MX Sports, and I don't think they're going to like it. But thank you to everyone who has signed up as the memberships. And obviously, you guys are down with me on this, and you guys kind of agree with where I'm coming from and the fact that I'm going to keep fighting these guys, but I'm going to talk about all that and more. But thank you so much for joining. We've had a lot of guys join after what happened this weekend, and I really, really, really appreciate it. You're helping me take these fools on, and I'm willing to take this wherever it needs to go. Hey guys, I'm going to get the sponsor reads out early, because I have a feeling after I get into the MX Sports stuff, I'm going to be pretty mad, and I just want to get this out of the way early. You guys know Coach Rob, Complete Racing Solutions. He's got his express workouts for busy professionals. Epic Garage Designs, the coolest garage stuff ever. Check out epicgaragedesigns.com. Ride strapped, and I love that they have my back in this whole situation. Check out strapped goggles, shirts, and yes, we will be doing a free Cooksey type shirt or whatever Chris comes up with. He's working on something, and he's just a genius when it comes to those. So check out Ride Strapped and look for the free Cooksey shirt that will be made here pretty soon. And Precision Transport, shipping company. These guys are great. Family owned. Hit up pretransport.com. So, all right, guys, so that's it before I get too angry. All right, so I just want to mention the sponsors before I get into the heavy stuff towards the end. They have taken me to a dark place, so I'm going to talk about the racing, and I'll get into that.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Special charge by Chase Sexton in the second moto at Budds Creek after tucking the front end again. This poor guy, I mean, he loses the front end more than anyone. And clearly it's not just the Honda. The Honda didn't help the situation. I think the KTM's better for that. But the way he rides, he trusts so much in that front end. Able to go so fast that he caught and still beat Hunter that second moto. I really thought Hunter was going to get the win. And keep in mind, so Hunter, if he does not get a win this season, next season, he's going to have more guys back. He's going to have Chase Sexton out there. He's going to have his brother out there. Will he ever get a 450 win? That's crazy. You could have a guy that has this many moto wins. Hunter Lawrence might not ever win a 450 race, which is weird, but that's actually a real possibility. Sexton has a 28-point lead, and a lot of times, just like Deegan, if Sexton wins the championship in that first moto by getting second or better, will he back off? Will he have an adrenaline dump, much like Deegan and a lot of these other guys, or will he go out and send it? This is a huge opportunity. Hunter Lawrence needs to win Ironman, or like I said, he might never win. But he's going to have a serious competitor in Aaron Plessinger. Aaron Plessinger, that's kind of his home race. He rides that track so good. That would be heartbreaking for Hunter to get second and then get second to Aaron Plessinger when, if Sexton backs off after that first moto. That's something to pay attention to. But Hunter, he has to get this win. He really, really needs this going into SMX. It's pretty rare when you have an opportunity to be the top guy, and you can never take that for granted. Speaking of Plessinger, he's got 22 points on Justin Cooper, which makes him, he'll probably finish the series in third, which I think should automatically give him the Donations third spot. He wants it really bad. Anytime a guy wants to be on the team that bad, you gotta go with it. But then I've also heard Eli Tomac really wants to go, which he has not always wanted to go, and he's getting towards the end of his career. I mean, he's an all-time great. Do you bump Plessinger to put the all-time great on there? If he rides really good at Ironman and, he's got a long time to get ready before Donations, do you go with Tomac? I don't know. I would probably stay with Plessinger. That's just me. But if they went with Tomac based on those things, and then also if you go with Tomac and something happens and he can't go, you have the same team that will have already shipped over a bike, and Justin Cooper could get plugged in. So there's a lot of pluses to going with a Yamaha guy versus a KTM guy. But I don't know. I really want to see Plessinger get it. I mean, that's our Captain America. I really like it. And even though Tomac has been called Captain America, Plessinger I just want to see him get it out of my own personal heart. I just want to see him. I think he's earned the right to go this year. So Jason Anderson had some more issues with flaggers, and I was standing right there when this happened. And I don't want to blame the flaggers. The flaggers are volunteer people. They pay them $100 and free lunch. These guys walk in for the day and they're standing there and they say, okay, stand right here and wave the flag. When somebody's down, do not go on the track. It was pretty obvious what this flagger should have done. When Anderson's down, he's in a blind section. This guy's standing right over the top of Anderson waving the flag. The riders can't see that flag until they crest the hill, and they're already aimed at Anderson. And Jason's pointing at the guy, telling him this guy had to walk forward 10 feet. I mean, it's common sense, but when you don't have a seasoned crew because MX Sports is too cheap to pay for one to take to all the rounds to keep these $1 million riders safe with their so-called partners. These guys don't know, okay, take us, like if you had a seasoned veteran, you know, they would go, okay, boom, this guy can't see. And they think ahead at those things. They're trained. They understand it. The kids should have stepped forward about 10 feet so riders could see him before they crested this baby double and made sure they got around him. And then also, when you're waving that flag, you push the guys, you direct traffic, you tell them what side to go on. When you're waving the flag, you don't just wave the flag. You wave the flag and you got to give like one of these. You tell them where to go. Common sense with most flaggers, but when you grab temporary employees, this is what happens. And I don't blame these employees. They haven't been trained properly. This isn't their everyday gig. They are stepping in for one day and asked to do a job that is very important.
That's fine.
Yeah, no problem. Are you seriously? Like, how come? I guess if I have a pass, I don't understand how.
Still private property, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're saying kicked out of the whole event?
Yeah, that's the league.
Now, the more I think about how MX Sports kicked me off the premises, I'm really mad because I am not a media member. I do not get credentials from them. I am not their invited guest. I am a paid customer. I am a fan going to the race. And to remove me, it really does set a bad precedent. So think about this. Every single person out there that goes to the races, if you say stuff on your social media that MX Sports doesn't like, you run the risk of being banned. This is a crazy precedent. MX Sports sees this as fine. And they do have that right. And I'm not saying they don't have the right. For example, Dana White, he kicked out a media member, Ariel Helwani, out of a UFC event, pulled his credentials and sent him outside. He was there as a guest of the UFC. The difference would be now is if Ariel Helwani had bought his own ticket, walked in, sat down, then they removed him from a seat that he purchased. Now he's a fan. Now they're removing a fan. It's a different ballgame. I'm not a media member. I am not part of MX Sports. I'm not, you know, they've made it very clear they don't want my message out there. But it's scary that they are so worried about me talking about the truth and correcting their lies about how they tried to paint Bud Feldkamp as this horrible, crazy man that just didn't want to do business with MX Sports, when it really just came down to a money issue. Where I think they're so mad at me is they have spun a lie to Honda, Kawasaki, KTM, and all the teams, because the teams are the sport. They have a partnership with the series because without the factories, nobody could make a living because the purse money is laughable. You cannot live off, you could win every race and you'd still be in the negatives for what it costs to go racing. So the only way to make money is to be a part of one of these teams. These teams, like that MX Sports, provides them a platform to promote their products to fans like me, like you. And now that they're ejecting fans because somebody mentioned the financials and how dirty and how much money that they're making, that's really why they kicked me out. They kicked me out because I exposed that Davey had lied to these teams about why they weren't at Glen Helen. Davey painted this unreal picture about Bud Feldkamp that just wasn't accurate. Bud might be hard to deal with. Yeah, so what? So's Davey. But he didn't tell the truth, and that's where the problem is, and that's what makes him so mad, is I exposed him to his so-called partners. If they're pissed, they take their business and go to a rival series. If somebody else wants to start a series and they go, well, yeah, Davey Coombs has been lying to us, and they go to these brands and say, listen, bring all your teams over here, then he becomes vulnerable. That's why they're so upset, because I've cracked that. And that relationship between the teams and MX Sports is very, very important to them succeeding in their business. And if the teams don't feel like MX Sports is living up to their end of the deal and they're lying to them and they're explaining they don't have money for flaggers when they are raking in the dough, that's a problem. If you're lying to your own business partners, but instead of fixing the lies, they want to remove people who expose the truth. Kind of ass backwards to me. Never mind the fact that the way they run MX Sports is an illegally operating franchise. That's what they are. They are operating as a franchise, but they are not following franchise law. They come in and they offer their franchise. You get the race. That's what it is. And while that hammer is still about to drop, because you can't do illegal practices, but they are pretty good. And Carrie Jo, the crypt keeper lady, the one that looks like Mr. Burns, she is a lawyer and she is very connected in that West Virginia area. They have been able to slide through some really dirty business dealings and make lots and lots of money off of our love for this sport. I don't think we're going to ever get them to change their tactics. I think they actually accept that they are doing the right thing and they just believe that They believe that they're bringing something to us and we should all be thankful and give them all our money and just thank them no matter what they do. That's their attitude. They think we're pieces of crap. Clearly they do. They do not care about your average motocross fan or your average motocross family. And they always talk about, oh, you can't grow the sport because it is what it is. It is like this and it is stifled because they're choking it. If you think these people care about the riders and the families, think about when Davey Coombs literally argued and protected a child sex offender that he had working at Loretta Lynn's. Put your hat on that one for a second. Davey Coombs, rather than say, oh my gosh, we missed that, we'll get him out of here, instead protected him with his words and talked about how much that Story family had done and completely ignored the fact that he is subjecting children to a sex offender. Seriously, that's what he did. I can't believe that anyone would think that he actually cares about the community who would do that. And I heard a lot of you guys are emailing MX Sports, but let me tell you who you need to email. The sponsors, Monster Energy, Intense Bicycles. Do you think Intense Bicycles, who is promoting, they're paying to be a part of the series, how would they feel that fans that they're paying to advertise to were being ejected for their opinions? That's not a good look. What about Acerbis? Would Acerbis, how do they feel knowing that? Is that going to make them want to sponsor the series? A series that kicks out fans for opinions and who blatantly disregards safety of riders? That's not a company I want to partner with. And I'm not trying to rip this thing down. I'm trying to make this thing better. And I hoped by bringing this stuff to light that we could just fix some of it. Because to tear it down and to rebuild another one is going to be hard. That's not an easy fix. And you're going to need a billionaire that's willing to lose a lot of money to restart this program. But it looks more and more like there's no fixing MX Sports, and it's time to just take all those sponsors, take all those teams, and move them over to a new series. And I have heard multiple people talking about starting a new series. And behavior like this will make sponsors want to leave and support the new one. It can be a business. It can absolutely be a business. And I think MX Sports should make a lot of money, but not act the way they do. They do not have to kick out fans. They do not have to hire temporary flaggers. They do not have to do all these things that they do. They feel untouchable. And as far as messing with me, they don't know who they're messing with. I love how people tell me, and I've actually had people reach out to me and say, hey, be careful. Like they're going to threaten me, like they're going to do something. Hey, listen, my life insurance is paid up and I'm taking this thing wherever it needs to go. You don't know what I'm capable of. You don't know how far I'll take this. So before you threaten me with bullcrap like that, look in the mirror, people at MX Sports, and just know I'm not going away and I'm going to keep pushing this even harder. The more you mess with me, the more I will do. And I appreciate everybody that supports me. You guys know my heart's in the right spot. I am not trying to hurt this sport. I am trying to make this sport better because I love it. It has given me so much. I thoroughly enjoy families hanging out together, going to the races. The people are so nice at motocross races, and they have taken that kindness and they're exploiting it. And it just makes me mad. It makes me really, really mad that they're taking this and they're taking a sport that was meant for, it's an expensive sport, but they are turning this into an elitist. And this is something that's happening a lot in society. I don't want that. And I am going to fight as hard as I can to keep telling you guys the right information. And if you want to help me, email their sponsors. Tell their sponsors you won't use their products while they keep doing stuff like this. That's how we can actually get to them. You think the executives at Monster are going to be real happy that fans are emailing them, telling them they won't support the series? That's how you get to them. So let Intense Bicycles know. Let them know you're not going to buy an Intense as long as they're going to participate with this kind of bullcrap. And that guy, the McGinley Clinic, he sponsors a series. Seems like a great guy. I don't know him, but I'll tell you, I will not support the McGinley Clinic as long as they are giving money to these people who are pillaging the sport and destroying it from the inside out. People say, I don't like the sport. That's absolutely 100% dead wrong. Anyone who knows me, no, I am doing this for a purpose. I'm doing this to save the sport that I love, to give people the same enjoyment that I've had enjoying it for my whole life, and not to let these people just squeeze every damn dime out of it and act like tyrants. That's a problem. All right, guys, that's it for today. I will catch you later. MX Sports, Kerry, Davey,